Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do like a rainy day get ready with me. It is the first day that it has looked and felt somewhat like fall here. So I thought it would be nice, you have the trees in the background. It's not currently raining, but it could, start up at any point. So I thought it might be nice to have like rain sounds or something like that. And if it doesn't rain, you know what? I'll pop in rain sounds just so we have the vibe. I posted a get ready with me recently. It was supposed to be part of a larger vlog that I was doing, so it was very like casual, which I mean this will be casual, but it was very impromptu. I guess that's the best word for it. I thought it's been a minute since we've done like an official one, so I'm excited about that. We're gonna use this Misha BB cream. I heard a tip where you can have my travel caddy with all my makeup goods in it. I heard a tip, and don't look at my disgusting beauty blender. Don't look at it. I heard a tip where you can like really just like douse your beauty blender and you'll get like a more even application. So that took up like basically all that was on my hand. And then it just like diffuses it more. I also love the smell of this foundation. It's so good. It's almost perfumey, but in a very like subtle way. I have been, I'm sure you noticed, but I have been breaking out there and then there. I guess it's all the stress from like losing my job and then other personal things I'm going to. I don't know, it's been rough lately. Oh, and I have another spot right there. I think the only thing I would say about using that tip, it definitely uses more product to diffuse it in that way. So sometimes I have to use like an additional pump. I'll go in with like a little half pump. Things have been okay, like, just applying for jobs. It's so weird because I have almost felt sick. Like whenever you can just tell that your body is acting like out of the ordinary, like I am not a napper and I have been like needing a nap almost an hour after waking up. My dad came over the other day and I think I took a 2-hour nap before he came over, and I had already because I'm not working, I had already slept in a little bit, which I'm not necessarily proud of. Like, I don't want to keep like sleeping in all the time. Like, I slept until 10:30 today, and whenever I was working, I would wake up at like 9 or 10. So at least that's like not that bad, but it's still not a habit I want to be getting into all of the time. If you've been here a while, you know how I feel about this, and I don't like it. And I watched somebody make a video the other day and it was an ad. I watched a TikTok where she used this as foundation, and I'm like, how, girl, how? Like, I don't know why people like this, and I've tried it so many times. I want to say this is my 3rd or 4th time getting it. It's just so recognizable as a product. Like, the packaging is very recognizable, so whenever I am out of concealer, I need a new concealer, I'm like, oh well, I'll just try this one again. Like, maybe I will like it better this time. And I've tried different like ways of using it. How I've been using it recently, which I'm not doing it today, is I'll just take my concealer brush and I'll just sort of douse it, distribute I said douse a lot. I'll just distribute the product into my brush, and then I'll go in with the brush. And I just feel like no matter what, it looks like it's not sinking into the skin. Like, it just looks, and I definitely feel like it makes me look older, and that's not something that I feel like my other products do. And then whenever I want it to conceal something, I feel like it doesn't stay. Whenever you're trying to conceal something, I've heard to just blend around the area and leave the main product in the spot that you want to conceal. But even if I do that, you can tell that the product is there. It's not like blending into the skin, so it still looks bad. Like, either way I try to do it. So today I have a really exciting thing going on. I have been looking for adult gymnastics classes since I worked at the ballet, and I found out that there were adult ballet classes. And I was like, this is awesome. I want, like, my thing growing up wasn't necessarily dancing. Like, I loved doing gymnastics until I quit, like, way too early. Okay, let's do brows. I hate whenever this happens. So I wanted to find adult gymnastics classes, and whenever I moved, like, I looked in Oklahoma City whenever I lived there, nothing. I looked in LA and nothing except for like maybe one, but it was like an hour across town. So that just wasn't a good fit. And I mean, that may have been because it was like 2021 and things were still taking their time picking back up. But I also looked for like online adult gymnastics classes, and there really wasn't anything, and even like on YouTube there wasn't really anything. So hey, if you want to make videos, that is definitely an open market for videos. I've not seen that. I'm going to go to an adult tumbling class, and it's only like 20 minutes away from my house, which is not bad. And so I don't want to do like too much makeup, but I want to do a little bit. Like, I am leaving the house and I don't often get to leave the house. I mean, working remote, I wouldn't like leave the house a lot, and then now like I don't have the money. Like, I need to be saving my money, and I don't want to say like spend money on a cup of coffee to be able to go and sit at a coffee shop for a few hours. Like, is that worth the money whenever I'm trying to save as much money as I can to tide myself over? Because my savings were depleted because of some medical stuff I had going on. And I was thinking, well, I'll just replenish my savings whenever I can, not thinking I was gonna lose my job like imminently. Basically, I was paying off a debt until May, and then I had another bill that came up in June, which was the same price as it was January to May. And then I had July, and I found out I was being let go August 1st. So I had 1 month to try to replenish savings, and that's of course not enough time. So I'm sure that's probably why I am having stress breakouts. But I don't know, I feel like I'm not like overly stressed. Like, I'm just trying to like keep my internal peace until it's time to freak out. Like, I don't want to freak out like until like I'm actually like concerned. See, and look, the main thing that I want to cover up here, I'll get a pointy brush. Okay, it's right here, like with that blue. I know that if I got like a color corrector, that would probably be more so like what I need for that area. But yeah, concealer is certainly not doing the trick. I do really love the Bobbi Brown concealer. Well, it's concealer and it's a color corrector. Like, you know, it's good enough that it does both, but it is pricey. Like, I want to say it was between $20 and $30, like maybe like 25. Okay, going to go in with the NARS Laguna bronzer. I've had this forever. I will say that I think it has been dealing with like some like hard pan. Like, you can see like barely any of it comes up whenever I like tap it, but it's okay. Like, it definitely, like, the product does apply. It's probably because it is so old. But with that Bobbi Brown one, it's expensive, and I think they may have discontinued it, which is a huge bummer because that was the best one that I had tried. I'm sure there's others out there, and I bet there's like a drugstore one that I could try. I feel like I have been overdoing, like, you know how people say like eyebrow blindness and things like that. I feel like I might have a little bit of bronzer blindness because it always ends up being a little bit too much. But eventually I think people are gonna find that they have blush blindness. That is definitely the thing nowadays, is to wear like way too much blush. I have been wearing about the same amount of blush, maybe a little bit more to match kind of the trend, but not a lot. I'm doing the blush in Rocketeer from Hula. That's a Hula bronzer. Is it Huda Beauty? And then Hula. I'll put it on the screen if that was wrong. I am getting excited for fall though. Like, I'm keeping it at bay, but cooler temperatures. Like, I'm so excited to go for walks outside. I have been walking up a storm since I have been allowed to walk again. This sounds so extreme. Walk on the treadmill again. I'm gonna use something very exciting today. It is old, as much of my makeup is. but and it's like so dirty too. But this is my original Naked palette that I bought in, I want to say I got it for Christmas 2014. Yes, Christmas 2014, before I went to college. I haven't really used, like, I've hit pan in one thing, but I don't know, it still works. And sometimes, like, I'll try to retire it because it's like, well, it is old, you know, maybe I shouldn't be using that around my eyes just for safety. But since it's like come back out, like, I don't know, I want to use it again and I don't want to spend that much money. It was funny, I was watching my old videos to see which ones that I want to re-upload from my olden days of doing YouTube, starting in like 2019, I think 2019 or 2018. I had noted that this was retired in like 2018, and I was talking about that, about how it's such a bummer because it's such a good product and that people were going to miss it. Like, people were, you know, rioting that it was gonna be gone because it was everybody's favorite. So okay, so I used Buck in the crease, and then I think I'm gonna do a combination in between. I'll use all three. Okay, so I'm gonna go with Virgin, Sin, and a bit of Naked on the lid. I was talking about the fact that they were probably going to re-release it one day, and they were going to charge more money for it whenever they re-released it. And that is exactly what has happened, so I predicted it. I feel like I can't help myself whenever I'm actually doing my makeup because, like, I end up doing more of a dramatic look than I, like, expect to. Like, I set out to just do something casual and then I add more and more and more. But I don't really wear makeup on the day-to-day so much. Like, maybe half the week, like 3 or 4 days out of the week I'll wear makeup, if that. Need more coffee. Eyeliner next. So whenever I do my makeup, I'm excited to actually do it, so I just add more and more. But I feel like if you do it every day, then you're more inclined to probably have like lazy makeup days where you just do a little bit. This has lasted me so long. It says it has 0.14 fluid ounces, which is not a lot of product. And I got it in a 2-pack, so as soon as I use this one, I'm just gonna have another one to go through. Good enough. Told you that I'm gonna go to the gymnastics thing. I'm really nervous. I haven't done gymnastics since I was little. Over a decade ago, almost 2 decades ago probably. Like, probably whenever I was 10. But I've kept up like my flexibility a little bit. Ow. Just flicked it in my eye. I should say it's a tumbling class, so you're not using like big equipment. So it's, I guess, maybe cheer, gymnastics, tumbling. The difference between adults and kids is their fear. Kids don't have the fear to like run and throw themselves into something, and adults do. So I don't know how my body is going to react to that fear. Or yesterday I I wanted to sort of roll around a little bit to get myself used to it. So I just did like some front like tuck rolls or whatever you call them. They were not comfortable, but it was very fun. It definitely like hit, like, you know, I could feel the force of my body more than I could whenever I was younger. Like rolling and like the thud of your body hitting the floor. But we'll see, and I'm sure they'll, you know, meet you where you're at, and everybody is going to have the same fear that I do. The class is only like it's only like $20 a class, which is great. I am very aware that I don't need to be spending a lot of money because I'm unemployed, but at the same time I know I also need to get out of the house, and I need to try to like make friends and need to move my body, and like there's so many perks to going to class. So it might just be something that I sort of embrace, because $20 a class is not that bad in the grand scheme of things. Okay, I think we're down to the last step, which is I guess I'll wear a little bit of lipstick just to have some sort of color. I probably won't reapply, like maybe just a chapstick or something. But this will be a good base. That is the finished look. I feel like all of my looks look the same, but it's still nice to like chat with you guys and catch up. I don't know, maybe take this as a challenge for yourself, like to try something out of your comfort zone, or to try something that or return to something that you loved doing whenever you were a kid. I think it's really, really healthy for you to connect with your inner child and do things that you used to love, and maybe you were scolded away from, or you shied away from. Like I quit gymnastics because I wasn't moving up fast enough and wasn't doing like the homework assignments, and that wasn't a good enough reason to quit, you know? So I shied away from it, and now it's time for me to return. So yeah, let me know in the comments if there's anything that you'd like to return to, or something that you loved doing as a kid that you're passionate about and you would love to do as an adult. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, please like it. Comment, like I said, what you're interested in as a kid and what you'd love to return to as an adult, and subscribe before you go so you catch the next video like these. I'm trying to put out videos every Friday, and I want to sneak another day in there if possible, trying to challenge myself to, you know, do more. But that is all. There was a beautiful flock of birds that just flew by. That is all I have for you guys today, and I will catch you in the next one.